903 Derby once again, here with Anthony Combs. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, I figured we'd start off talking about work ethic. I know we probably talked more before this podcast has started than we're going to be for this duration, but at least, I guess we've got replay value.
Pretty much.
Which is good. Good.
Yeah.
We've got lots on our minds, lots to talk about. We're very opinionated. So I think one of the things we can start off talking is about work ethic and the importance of having grit. I think it's something that has really piqued my interest lately, as I work on this sort of creative endeavor, knowing that there are going to be some days where I'm super stoked to do this, and, it's a blue skies kind of day, and everything goes well, but there are going to be some days where I'm going to be running late, or I'm going to be exhausted from having done things from the day prior, and so on and so forth, right? I'm going to have to really push through. Now you're joining the Air Force, you're about to get going here soon. What are some of the lessons you've drawn from some of your training and such that you think could apply to everyday life? For folks who maybe aren't going to join the military, what kind of lessons could they draw?
Well, the things that I know that I've learned through my times, especially growing up or getting into the Air Force, is that, like you said, there's going to be days that are going to be gloomy, rainy. You don't want to get up. You don't want to do the regular grind and everything, but you always have to just keep moving. You keep moving forward, and I really do think a lot of people, you'll see there in their work ethic is that even if it's raining, snowing, like it's a black day type deal, it's like, you know what? I'm going to work through this. I'm going to work through the grind. Even though I might not like it for a minute, but it'll be better in the hour. And as soon as you get past that grind, you'll even appreciate the days even more that are sunshine, that are perfect weather. They're like, man, I woke up and birds were singing. And like, you'll see like, oh, this is going to be a nice, easy day. To compare the ones when, it's going to be the grit and the grind, you can overcome anything. They can throw you a snowball, life can throw you a curveball. You can go out to your car and, man, I got a flat tire. Oh man, this day's already sucking as it is. No, okay, fix the tire, keep on going, keep moving, to where you will even benefit from the days that are easy, to where it's like, man, I had a flat tire when you went out there, but hey, somebody was right there and it's like, hey, let me help you with your tire. And you're like, man, this day even went even better. So that's where I definitely, from my experience, it's like if you just keep moving, keep showing that you really care and passionate to your work, that even the rough days, they're going to look like nothing, and your good days, they're going to look like vacations on the beach, man. You're having the best time of your life. You can have the best day, like even for you. And with the podcast, it's like, oh, this interview went amazing. It hit all 10 points and everyone likes it. And everyone went bonkers for it. That type deal. So you just keep moving no matter what. You be truly successful in anything you do.
And I really love what you said, because it's such a perspective shift. Usually when we have a good day, we nary, give it much of a mention, Sort of like, oh, it's a good day, great. But when it's a bad day, oh man, it's memorable. You're stuck on it. Oh, this is such a horrible day. Just days on end. It's one of those things that just sticks to you. But I actually really love your mentality, which is when there's a bad day and you go through it, a good day is an even better day. It's a bonus. You think, ooh, I'm unimpeded today. And you know what? If an impediment does get in my way, if there is an obstacle, I'm going to power right through this because I've done it before.
Oh yeah, and the one thing definitely on those bad days I really try to say to people is actually remember those bad days and the bad experiences, because that's also a learning block, because that will come again. You'll have one of those times coming once again, and then you already experienced it once. You go, oh wait, I don't want to do that again. I've seen this go right when I know I need to go left type deal. That way, when you're having like, oh man, it's already starting to be in a bad day. Oh wait, I've done this before. I've gone through this. I can actually turn this bad day to an amazing day just by going left and not right, and still worrying about it, dreading it, and be like, no, it still turned out to be a good day. I mean, I look at me, it's like I work with a contractor through FedEx, and we have to go deal with the different weather, if it's raining or snowing or it's god awful or something shining awesome. You take those bad days when it's raining and snowing and you go, hey, I know what my limitation is. I know what I can do and can't do. So let me turn this. Oh, okay. I'll run my route a different way. That way it's easier. So I already experienced one bad day to avoid another bad day and another bad day and dread this day to where it's like, man, it's going to be a bad day. It's raining. No, it's actually going to be an actually okay day because I'm going to go this way throughout my day. That way I'm not dreading it. And it's like, how was your day? Oh, it was all right. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, I got soaked, but that's life. And that type deal. So we're, like I said, is just, you learn from it. You learn from your experiences of your bad days to make your bad days just okay or even good days.
Yeah, it sounds like a very malleable mentality. It's almost like the manner in which you present things, it's sort of like your realm of possibilities, like the universe. It's constantly expanding.
Yeah, because you're always learning. You're always learning new. You should be always learning new things. If you're going through your day to day and it's just the same deal, you wake up, go to work, come home, eat, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, come home, eat, sleep. Man, that's a tape recorder. That's like if you've ever seen Pleasantville, a black and white film, and it's just, oh, look, it's a repeat. Look, it's Joe Blow, and he's a football player, and hey, Sally Sue, and their day's just the normal, and that's boring. You're not challenging yourself. That's where, like, you have like this, like if you go do your podcast and a few hours later it's like, hey, I got a guitar lesson, or hey, I'm going to learn this new skill that I'm going to try home and everything. It's like, for me, it's like I try to keep myself learning new things, like singing, learning new lyrics, or cooking, learning new recipes, or even watching MMA film and everything, learning new defenses and everything. Just something, always learning, always keeping my brain going, not just through the 9-to-5 type deal. Because I think a lot of people at times, they get lost with their just regular get up, do this, come home, do that, get up. They don't have the enjoyment to where it's like, hey, I learned something new. And anything can come out new. It's like, man, I learned a new species type deal. Or, hey, I didn't know that this bird was here, but apparently it's here in Sherman, Denison area type deal.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that. I think that I'd been there before where I had a very flatline existence, and, maybe there was a point in time where it sufficed. It was enough. But I think that I got to a point where I was becoming increasingly frustrated and thinking, man, I'm really not getting the most out of life here. I'm just doing the same thing over and over, right? Mm-hmm. And, if you're happy with that, hey, more power to you. That's great. Ultimately, that's what we are striving to achieve, right? Is to, be happy, have a good life.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that it's never a bad deal is where if it's just A to B, A to B, A to B. I mean, you can see different families or families with kids. Like, you want, like, the wife is like, cool, have a good day. The kids had a good day. Come home, the family has a good meal. That deal. And you try to strive for that. But I do believe at times you'll come in life like something's going to cause a wrench in that A to B life.
Exactly. Like, that being said, right? Yeah. You think, okay, but at the same time, though,
it's not going to be something that's going to go wrong. It's like little Joe here broke his leg. Now what are you going to do? Like, okay, now I've got to worry about the expenses. Are we going to make the bills? And that's stuff like that. I mean, you can always be prepared in life, but you've got to let your life at times deal with some wrenching deals. And sometimes even when you're prepared for it, those bad things that come up in your life, you're like, man, at least I was a bit of prepared. It's not big of a damaging, because I've seen a lot of people come up with like, man, I forgot I had that bill coming up. Now I'm out of money. I don't know what to do and stuff. Okay, what's your next idea? What's your goal? Oh, get out. Okay, how are you gonna get out? What are you going to go do? Are you going to put extra time at work to make the next paycheck better? Or are you going to go like donate plasma? Or are you going to go help out at different jobs here and there just to make ends meet type deal? It's like you got to prepare. You can prepare as much as you can to where that, I call it, is like a little bombs, like unexpected bomb blowing up in your face and going, well, that wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be, because at least I was a bit prepared for it.
And that's a good point. And I think that's why, because we're both fans of Dr. Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
And we've listened to a lot of his lectures and, think his ideas are absolutely stellar. And he sort of talks about how the pursuit of happiness is sort of how would you describe the way he describes it? Before I continue my point.
To me, in my idea how he describes it is, you've got to find that balance between your life and chaos. You've got to find a balance, and what that happiness is, that you can go for it, but you're gonna have to do the grit. You're gonna have to do the work, and it's not going to be easy. And it's times it really ain't gonna be fun. But you do the small goals, the small steps, and you always keep your head towards, basically your or your eyes on the prize, more say, that you just keep going. And even if it's putting more weight on you, you just, okay, find a different way. Have more discipline and everything to get it done, to achieve your happiness.
Yeah, that really brought everything back to mind. And I couldn't agree more. I think that's very succinct, because the truth is that there will be curveballs, just like you were saying, that will get in the way of that. So, it's perhaps an idealized life to go about your existence, always happy and chipper and everything working as it should. But the reality is that there will be things that will come through that are unexpected, that will shake that and test you. Right? They'll test you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're going to go through, I truly do believe you're going to go through different aspects in your life that's going to test you. And it's going to test you mentally, physically, and even your willpower and stuff. It's like, it's very hard, like someone being addicted to a drug or anything like that, is you finally want to get off. Okay, I want to see what the happiness is on the other side of an addiction. Well, this world's still going to test you. You're still going to have tests come up to where, like, a person that was addicted to alcohol, at times, if he sees his friends and everything, they're going to have a beer and he's going to be tested. Hey, you already seen what this happiness is without the alcohol. Are you going to step back into it? Are you going to be disciplined enough just to say, no, I'm good, I'm happy where I'm at, thank you though? Or are you going to kind of fall back and stumble? But I think a lot of times people feel like, oh man, I stumbled. No, you can still come back towards happiness. You just now, you know what the steps are. Now do it again. Now just do it another way that you can achieve your happiness. That just takes hold of that discipline. That's why, like, even going back to, like, we were saying, like, bad days. There's your bad day. You had a bad day of, hey, I'm sobriety. Haven't had alcohol. I had a drink of alcohol for months, and then you slip. Oh, there's that bad day. Hey, guess what? 6 more down the road, you hit another 6 months of no alcohol, but you're tested again. Oh, look, if I go right, I'm back where I was. But if I go left, it's even more happiness and more clarity.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that, right? Having that sort of, fortitude for sure, but being able to recognize that sometimes failure doesn't have to be a life-defining thing. You don't have to accept that as, sort of the new order. Oh, I've failed, or I have fallen back into alcoholism. Therefore, well, it's all over. If that's what you truly believe, it will be all over. But through discipline, like you were saying, you can bounce back. Things will happen. You're going to be tempted. There are going to be temptations in anything.
Oh yeah, right? I mean, shoot, we can even talk about, like, our founding father Benjamin Franklin discovering.
Oh yes, I love this one. Yes,
the whole. I tried to figure out electricity 99 times, but I finally figured out the one. If you put a key to a kite and, yep, okay, that's how electricity works. And the whole saying is, like, why did you not give up? No, I didn't give up or I didn't fail. I just tried 99 times and it just didn't work. So that's where a lot of people kind of feel like you said, is, oh, I failed, I stumbled. Well, I'm a failure. No, it's just that way you went, that path you went, didn't work. So let's try a different path. Let's try a different way. So just like if we're using the example of alcoholism, Okay, you want to get off of alcohol? Yeah, okay, well, you got to take the steps to get off. Okay, you stumbled back into it. What do you not do? Okay, don't go towards events that have alcohol, or don't hang out with the people that are having the same problems type deal. You just change an aspect of your life to where you go, okay, is this going to make me happy? Is this going to keep me on the straight and narrow towards the grind of happiness? And at times it's like, what is your happiness? I think a lot of times people kind of confuse what happiness and what they want, because I think a lot of times the people are like, oh, well, money will make me happy. Okay, will it truly make you happy? Or is that going to just slap a band-aid on a wound that you know that is there and you're just trying to cover that up? What's your true happiness? Like for me, from my experiences and stuff, I finally got out to nature and everything this past year and found truly myself. I was like, wow, I can actually take a sleeping bag, take a little tent, walk 4 miles up a hill, pitch a tent, sleep in the sleeping bag, and I'm truly happy. What did it cost me? $5 because I already had the tent and the sleeping bag. That type deal. That was like my little piece of happiness, and I could see myself. I could be solace. I think it's just people need to find their solace of what that is. Either that is like through a podcast, music, camping. If it truly makes you happy and not have to worry about nothing, definitely go for it.
And it's interesting because in order for you to figure that out, you're gonna have to venture.
Yes, you're gonna get tested. You're truly gonna get tested. Are you gonna go through the grind of failures? Or are you gonna go through the grind of succeeding at times? Just like you look at different musicians, look at like Slash, look at all these different guitarists, Tom Morello. Do you think they failed? Gosh darn, yeah, they failed. They failed plenty of times, but they kept pushing and kept pushing and kept pushing. It's like me and our friend BJ. We went to a
Yes.
Slash concert a few weeks ago, and we watched Slash just for 10 minutes play on his guitar, and it was like water, and it was normal to him, and that's his happiness. He don't sing. He just plays guitar. He just likes to have fun. And I look at that as well as, you know how many times he failed? Plenty of times. Look at, he's been through so many different people. He's gone through Axl Rose with Guns N' Roses. He's gone with Velvet Revolver with the lead singer or former lead singer Stone Temple Pilots. He's gone through a lot of people, but he still keeps going because that's his solace. That's his happiness. So yeah, you're gonna get tested. It's just totally up to you. Are you going to stop where that test comes because you either failed or succeed? Or are you going to keep pushing for something even more?
Yeah, it's weird how much fear of the unknown. I guess I should rephrase that. It's amazing the power of the fear of the unknown and how much it could sway some folks and prevent them from actually trying. Because I have a friend of mine who's always had, creative ideas, but he's never really followed through with them because he's always felt like the investments weren't worth it, and that he still wasn't sure. He was still searching, and it was like every single thing he would try just wouldn't materialize. But in a way, he would start things off, invest a lot in whatever he was starting off. Like for example, he had gotten into martial arts once and bought a bunch of sweet gear and joined a membership, but the going started to get hard, and it was just easy to jump ship and then say, you know what, this just isn't my thing.
Oh yeah. And look at we're good examples. Like we both know David Goggins, if you know his story and everything. He finally wanted to get off the couch and be like a Navy SEAL, be those people, the elite of the elite. And he goes through his life of, okay, I'm going to train, but then he had different setbacks. He failed on the ASVAB test, which is a generalized testing, multiple times because he cheated through his life in high school on different tests. Well, he had to actually learn and all that. Then he was afraid of the water, and he had to overcome that. And there was even times where he'll even tell you, he even goes back out of the military, goes back to his regular job, eating donuts and like failing in life, and then he finally looks at himself at one point of his job and goes, I don't like this. I need to just, all right, get back into it. So he goes back it again, and he gets comfortable with the water. Then, make the long story short, he's finally a Navy SEAL. So that is the fortitude, the uncomfortableness. And yeah, that might not work, like for your friend. Like, okay, it might not have worked, but how many times are you going to keep going? You can get this sweet gear. Okay, maybe it's not the gear. Maybe it's taking the time with the instructor, with the people. Hey, can you show me how you did that move so I can learn it? That's the whole deal I love about jiu-jitsu. Is it is one of those deals where you're gonna, guess what? You're gonna get in a hold. You're gonna tap. You're gonna get in a move and go left when you should have went right. Now you're going to learn, and you will get frustrated, but it's one of those, if you keep working at it, talk to the right people. They'll teach you. The right people will teach you the right ways to where you go, hey, you could have went left, and this is where you should have went A to Z, or you can go right and go A to B to C, and you get the same results.
And that's a good point. I mean, maybe my friend is in that phase of David Goggins' life, so to speak, where he's back at the donuts phase, and maybe that's the last thing he's ever going to take, and maybe someday he will blossom. He's an absolutely brilliant guy. So it could be that, this might be the last of it, and he might be on the cusp of achieving something great. This might be the last sort of moment in his life where he'll just settle for mediocrity. And I definitely wanted to talk about jiu-jitsu because I have dabbled a little bit. I trained for a bit at Warrior Martial Arts in Little Elm. Very small time. Very, very, very small time. 2 months, 3 months. But just in that time alone, I learned a great deal. And you're right. It forces you to accept failure as part of the growing process. Because you're going to be in there with people that are more skilled. Or maybe you'll go against someone who's of your same skill level, and they're going to get you in a maneuver that, their advantage is just too great, and you will not be able to overcome it. And so it forces you to not just take failure, but then see the lessons.
Correct.
In those.
Correct. And that's all truly, and that's the reason I love jiu-jitsu is you'll find one way. You can have two people, easy way to say it, you'll have two people going at each other. Two guys or two women. Person A and person B. Person A can figure out, hey, I can put person B in an arm bar. Cool. Guess what? You put them in an arm bar. The whole deal is person B knows that now. How is person A going to get that arm bar? Because if that person A tries to get person B in an arm bar, it's not going to work. So now what are you going to do? What are you going to change? You go left and right. But then also you go back on person B, they get defeated. Oh man, I've never been put in an arm bar. Gosh, why did I feel such a failure to let that happen? No, now you understand. Now you know what's coming. You know that feeling. That type of, and we can spin that backwards even with life. It's like, cool, you know that feeling that doesn't feel right and that is uncomfortable. Don't do it. Don't go through that pattern. No, go a different way. And that's where like you said, it's like jiu-jitsu teaches you that. She teaches you the failures, the learning, and then also it teaches you to succeed because, hey, person A never got a person in the armbar. He or she has tried 100 times but finally got that armbar. And you're like, yes, I've got it. Cool. Now I know the feeling. Now you want that feeling again. That's where it's one of those deals. You keep knocking at that door, keep knocking at that wall. Sooner or later, that door or that wall will come down or open up. You just got to be persistent and just stick to it.
Yeah, this feels like a great way to end the podcast here since it looks like we're nearing the end. Because I think that if we applied that metaphorically to life in general, whenever you, let's say, compare ideas, right? You want to bounce ideas in a manner to where maybe your idea will fall short. Maybe your friend's idea might fall short, or whoever it is that you're debating with. But ultimately, if you zoom out, both of you benefit.
Exactly. I mean, my personal life and my background, I've gone through different business adventures, and I've talked to different people and like bounced ideas at them saying, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, and I saw you do this like a year ago. What do you think? And even the gentleman says, you don't want to do that. Come from experience. I'm far into debt in 5 years plus, and I'm even out of it, and I'm still trying to get out of it. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad I actually asked somebody that was actually in this, that maybe this wasn't the right idea, and you just bounce, like you said, bounce ideas back and forth. Maybe this was good, maybe this was bad, or maybe, hey, did I have a better idea or a better way of doing it type deal, but still know the precautions of what the outcome is if you don't succeed, and are you willing to take that risk?
Exactly, because just by you talking with that gentleman like that, you're opening the door to scrutiny.
Yes.
You're allowing him to scrutinize your plan and that sort of thing, and so it becomes a teachable moment for you.
Correct.
And you know your fantasy idea took the loss and that died off, so you didn't have to. Another Peterson idea as well.
Yes,
so, yeah.
Exactly. It's one of those deals like, hey, I want this fantasy, or I want this giant bubble, or this what I really want, and then it's, okay, are you willing to deal with the consequences if you get that? Also, are you willing to deal with the consequences if you don't get it?
Yes.
That type deal. So are you willing to balance both on that teeter-totter? So it's like, it is one of those deals where you got to look at every aspect. Even if you know someone that is like, they are experienced it or they've gone through it, dig in their brain, see what they went through. And you can also, you dig through that brain, you can find out things that maybe, hey, that's a warning. That whole bad day, that, oh my gosh, that flat tire. Hey, guess what? If you go that way, you won't have to experience that flat tire. You won't have to experience that. You're like, oh, I saw that coming because I talked to that guy about it in his past. So now I know what to avoid.
Couldn't agree more. That's just one of the many ways we can bring the best out of each other.
That's
so
right.
yeah, it's been a blast. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you, sir.
I think we've got plenty of room to come back and do more in the future.
Definitely, brother.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.